everybody? Welcome back to Prime Sports. It's been a long time coming now. Again, I feel like we have like several month pauses sometimes in between, but we're back again with episode 17 now. Nico is to the left of me on your screen. Nico, how are you?
Hey guys, it's been a while. Good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we'll be talking about today is going to be a hockey-based episode, which is something we haven't done in quite some time now. But we felt like it would be the right time to do so after obviously the NHL All-Star break here in Toronto. Some other news in terms of international hockey and the Olympics, and some other stuff we'll get to along the way. Um, Nico, you want to make a little announcement about our branching out recently, just to clarify
Yeah,
things for the listeners?
yeah. As some of you may have known, if you were checking our socials, we recently branched out from our Prime Sports Media account on Instagram, and we just thought it would be a better concept for our account because obviously we cover lots of sports. So people would be able to follow the account that they specifically want to watch us for. So it's pretty straightforward why we did it. Kind of like narrows our audience for each account, and it makes it more enjoyable for you guys. So we branched out. We have two other accounts now. We got Prime Kickoff, which will have all your soccer, football content. And then we got Prime Puck, which will have all of our hockey stuff. And then in the future, we're gonna hopefully get to branching out into other sports as they get, bigger with our account. But right now, we noticed that soccer and hockey are kind of our two big, um, I don't know, two of the biggest topics that gain more attention on our accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what happened. Feel free to go follow those accounts on Instagram. And we'll also be doing like collaborative posts with Prime Sports Media.
Yeah,
So sometimes you'll see those posts together. That's just for like the bigger news and things like that.
yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited for it and hopefully it'll be a uh better format for everyone.
Yeah, I really like it. We'll put those new accounts in the descriptions for you guys to look at and follow and all that good stuff. Uh this episode, so Nico just mentioned we got kind of two separate things going on now
Yeah.
that are all tied into Prime Sports. So if we do a soccer-based episode for Prime Kickoff, you'll see like shorts of that episode like with that account. I guess some of our bigger ones would be tied into the Prime Sports, I guess parent account you could call it.
Mhm.
And stuff from this episode will be along with Prime Puck. So just to give more of a clarification of what's going on with that, we just thought, like as Nico mentioned, it'd be a better concept for us going forward. All right. So lad, episode 17. It's that's quite a few episodes now.
Yeah. I mean, it might not seem like a lot for a lot of
Yeah.
people who follow like, bigger
Yeah.
podcasts, but like considering all of the stuff that we've been through with school and everything, it's a lot for us. We don't
I
usually have much time.
When I think about like 17 episodes, I can't even like remember like the 17 times we sat down and recorded,
That's actually true, yeah.
right? All right. So let's get into it, lad. Without
Yeah.
further ado. So as I mentioned, the NHL All-Star weekend happened here in Toronto, which was super fun. Lots of things to do, almost too many things to do, Nico.
Yeah.
Um, what do you want to talk about first? We can talk about our personal experiences that we had, or we
Yeah.
can like go into like time order of the events. What do you think?
Let's talk about our crazy personal experience first and
Okay.
then just to get that out of the way.
Okay. So, to kind of set off the weekend, or I guess it was in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. And some of you might know it was a Wayne Gretzky pop-up basement sort of attraction that was downtown Toronto, where you could go in and just look at some vintage Gretzky equipment, honors, trophies, other memorabilia. They were also selling some apparel as well, which was pretty cool. But it's pretty much just Gretzky basement with all this cool stuff, and me and Nico went there. Um, on the opening night. It was like 5 o'clock, 5:30. We kind of just hang around, and we got to see the one and only Wayne Gretzky, Nico.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
It was pretty crazy how it happened too, eh?
hmm Yeah, I was shocked, and then you were speechless when you saw him. So
He
I
he
was like,
kind of just he just appeared in this like giant how do you even call it?
like at first I thought it was like a party bus, but it was more like a van. So to give context, we went through the Gretzky's basement, and it was really nice. They had a lot of great stuff in there.
Yeah, super
And
cool.
then on our way out, we were just hanging around there because we knew that some guys from the Spit and Chicklets podcast were in there filming content, so we were hoping to stick around to say hi to them when they came out. And then all of a sudden we turn to our side and we see the one and only Wayno just come out of a
Just like
van.
he just pulled up like right behind us. Like we're like, who's this? And then we saw like a bunch of guys in suits come out. I'm like, wow, is this the Secret Service?
A president's here.
Yeah, like I don't know what was going on. I almost didn't want to look that much because I was scared like if I'm looking too much, they might like tackle me or something. But then at
Yeah.
the corner of my eye, I just saw Wayne, and then my jaw just like dropped from the
I
moment he
was
like,
looking at you, you were looking at me, we were both shocked. So
yeah. So that was pretty cool. We didn't get a chance to like get a photo with him or anything because he was pretty secured by his security.
yeah, they were
And
in
but
a
that's
rough.
okay. It was still pretty cool to see him up close.
Yeah.
And then after we got to see the Chicklets guys, Nico.
Yeah, we got to see all those guys. We got to see Biz.
Yeah.
So we're huge Biz fans. So
Caught a photo with him. They all seem pretty cool. They were high as a kite.
yeah.
Uh but they're
Yeah.
nice guys. They're nice guys. So that was a cool little thing. Um and then from that point the next day was the NHL All-Star draft. Were you able to watch the draft at home?
I watched parts of it. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was out at that time, so I
Hmm.
wasn't at home. But I was keeping up with it on Instagram with like reels and stuff.
Okay. So the draft. So I was lucky enough to be there at Scotiabank. And firstly before I like get deep into this, I just want to say it was like super cool the way they set it up. Obviously there's a lot of great players there. Some players that maybe like shouldn't have been there, but they're still pretty good, you could say. Um, but still a pretty cool concept to have like the celebrity captains and as well as the players with their assistants selecting the teams. Something that I really missed from the last time they did it. I can't remember how long ago it was. Probably like 2014, 2013, 2015, around there. And I really missed that concept because I thought it was pretty cool. It gets the players a little more like, I don't know. It gives them like some more character. Like they have to be a little bit more creative, so they kind of step out of their pucks in deep, pucks to the net
Yeah, yeah.
type of
We
type
gotta
of
be a bit entertaining.
yeah, like they yeah, exactly. And that's fun for the fans.
Yeah,
Um, but another part of me thought it was like kind of strange the way like the players just all like sat there sat there and
I noticed that. Yeah.
there were some times where like they had to sit on like booths and like it would have three players each and like for example Nick Suzuki eventually was just like sitting by himself for like a good chunk of the time because the two guys next to him were picked early. So I thought like it was a good idea. I think it'll be hard to perfect with all the players that are there and the way the events run, but I thought it was good. A lot of people didn't though. A lot of people thought it was kind of cringy. Um
Everyone thinks everything is cringy nowadays.
yeah. I don't know. I kind of liked it. It was actually McKinnon said himself it might have been a little cringy.
But he said didn't he say like he thought it would be cringy, but it wasn't?
I think he said I thought it would be cringy, but I don't know. He was like maybe.
Okay, okay.
He
I don't know. Like, who really cares? As long
yeah.
as people enjoyed it, it's not really meant to be serious if you think
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
It's not
Exactly.
meant to be something like, oh, it's like competition. No, it's for fun.
Yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
Kucherov didn't get the memo.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Before we get to that, I want to talk about Buble. What'd you think of him?
He was pretty I don't know how to say it.
You can't describe him.
Hi, first of all. No, like I don't know what was going on. I don't know. Did you watch that press conference with him?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
ended up seeing the clip later. If we can, we'll play it now.
My buddy told me this is just a microdose of mushrooms, and he was lying. So I'll be honest, I thought I was in Blades of Glory for most of the time that I was out there.
Yeah.
But like pretty surprising, honestly. Like I feel like that's something that wouldn't be said. I guess he can get away with it because he's not like an
Mhm.
athlete or anything. But I was pretty
Yeah.
surprised to hear that.
I don't know. I think he was entertaining for sure. Like I
Yeah.
saw a lot of people commenting like because a lot of people were hating on him for some reason just because of like the way he was acting and then people were like, "Oh, but I don't know why people are complaining because he was the one who made it entertaining." So,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of did what he was meant to be there for.
Yeah, exactly. Be entertaining, be funny. It's funny though because Buble is like this like if you think of his music like classy like
Yeah, I never
suit,
expected that.
tight-lipped, and then he just like my buddy gave me too many mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of the stuff that you go to the event for. So that was pretty fun experience. All the other celebrities were great too. I'll talk about them a little more later on. The skills competition, lad.
Yeah.
I'll let you kind of just give your opinion on the skills competition and what took place.
So, as many of you saw, Kucherov doesn't seem to like competitions that don't involve him making a
An
buttload of
effort.
money. So, yeah, I don't know. He was in the past competition and he just wasn't trying. He kept not hitting the target. He kept kind of
Kind of just like
I don't
flailing
know.
his arms.
Yeah, like I don't know how to describe it. Like kind of like nonchalant,
Yeah.
like just he didn't.
Mopey.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't want to be here right now. Like
Why do
kind
you think he
of
was
that
like
way.
that?
I don't know. Like surely, even if like yeah, it's not your choice if you're gonna be an all-star or not, right? Like it's not like they get to choose. But you can still deny it, can't you? Like, can't you just say like, oh, I don't want to go?
You could, but I guess you look like even more of an ass.
But isn't it even worse if you're going there and putting on a bad like
Yeah.
impression?
They're
I
both
feel
not
like
good looks. I don't know.
if
I
you're gonna
think
do that, you might as well just stay home.
yeah,
Say
that's
that you're
true.
sick. Say
That's
that you're
true, yeah.
sick. Just stay home.
I don't know, whatever reason he had for why he did that. I don't know if it was maybe so they never pick him again for an all-star. I don't know, but
They definitely won't now.
he got
Think
his
about
wish
it.
if
No
that
one's
was
gonna.
the case. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think it's supposed to be fun for the fans. Like they want to see like the best players do what they're good at. So I don't
hmm
know.
Like,
I
look at
guess.
McDavid. He's the best
Oh
player in the
yeah.
world,
And he tried.
and
He wanted to
and
win these
he
events.
he tries every single year that he's there. So, like, if the best player in the world is giving like 100% effort, then who are you to like not give any effort at all just because you don't feel like it? And you're not even like Kucherov is amazing, especially this season. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, a point leader in the league.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's kind of like a big ego move.
At least everyone had. I guess the majority of fans had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What else about the skills competition? They did a new format where the winner would get $1 million, but also
Mm-hmm.
they had like this handful of players that just like picked what event they wanted. Um, like for example, Makar did. Oh no, everyone did 4 events, and Makar got hardest shot. McDavid won a few of them. And then in the end, McDavid ended up winning it. What do you think? I want to ask you, do you think so? The NBA does this thing where, for example, the dunk competition, they don't pick players from the All-Star game. They just pick like who they think the best dunkers are in the league. So like for
Mm-hmm.
example, for the fastest skater, you'd probably still have McDavid and McKinnon there or whatever. But like there'd be other players in there like I'm blanking, but I know like Kapanen, for example, is like super fast. But
Mm-hmm.
he's not an all-star, but he's really
Yeah.
fast, so he could compete in like the best. I don't know. What do you think? Should they do that, or do you like what
So
they're
you're
doing?
you're saying like they should be all-stars as well, just because they can be in those competitions?
Not like they should be picked just for the competition. They
Okay,
shouldn't
okay.
play in the game.
So they should have two different things, like all-stars to play in the game, and then also all-stars plus people who are just good at it to be in the
Yeah,
competitions.
yeah.
I think that would be a bit more entertaining to watch too, because then you can
Or
really test them.
at least like add like maybe like one wild card. So then
Yeah.
like the super good players can still like compete in them because people still want to see that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like I know hardest shot, like Makar the hard shot, but he's probably not the hardest shot in the league.
Probably not. Who would you say has a harder shot? I mean, his
Gudis
shot was crazy.
Gudis probably has a crazy shot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's hit over 100 this season at some point. There's a many guys like there, even if you're not that good offensively, like you can still have a hard shot.
Yeah.
Just
Like a
about
lot of
like your
a lot
power and
of
technique.
defensemen probably have like crazy hard shots.
Yeah, exactly. Though
Maybe
if you
even
had
like
like one of those guys in the mix, it might be a little bit more entertaining, just slightly. But I'm not gonna complain. I think the skills competition was pretty good this year,
yeah.
if
Would you
I'm
say it
honest.
was better than the actual All-Star game?
That's a good question. And usually I do like the skills competition more than the game, just because like in the game they're kind of like they don't want to try too hard because they don't want to play defense and
Yeah, yeah.
let the skilled guys like do skillful things. That's a tough question.
I kind of liked the game this year though. Like
Yeah,
it was really good, I
yeah.
think.
They tried like a little bit because I think there's a money prize at the end for charity.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I like the game better this year,
Okay.
but
Okay.
the skills competition was still pretty good. So that brings us right into, I guess, the All-Star game. Yeah, like I just said, like I really liked the game this year. I feel like they tried a little more.
Mhm.
Were you able to watch the All-Star game or some of
Yeah,
them?
I watched a few, not all of them. I watched the final one
Okay.
where Matthew's team won.
What'd you think?
Yeah,
Was this your first All-Star experience? I didn't even ask.
no, last year I watched it
Oh,
as
okay,
well,
okay.
but I preferred this one, this year's game. That's why I asked you that question. I preferred this year's game a lot more than last year. I feel like I saw that they tried a bit more.
Yeah,
Obviously, still like didn't like go like full on
yeah.
because that's not what they're supposed to do.
Body checks and block shots. Actually, Marner blocked the shot, but
Yes.
you know what I mean.
I liked when Marner got that crazy play saved. I don't know if you remember, there was like a really nice play with the Leafs boys there. And then who was the goalie? I'm blanking right now. Who was that goalie that
On Team
saved?
Matthew, they're on the other team.
No, on the other team that saved Marner's shot.
Oh, that's it was Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky. And then Marner threw his glove at him. That was
That's
hilarious.
the stuff we love for All-Star. Like that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that
talking about right there. Players getting like, relaxed, just enjoying like what they're doing because they're doing what they love. So yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was a fun moment. That was a fun moment. He just threw his glove at Bobrovsky. That was a crazy save.
And
And
then
it's hard for goalies to like that's like one of the hardest jobs to be a goalie in an All-Star game.
yeah,
How do
yeah.
you how do you have fun as a
Yeah,
goalie?
honestly. It's just
Bobrovsky
you
did
do
it
your
there.
job. You do
Yeah.
your job. Sam Bobrovsky. That was hilarious.
Oh, Davo.
Oh
Oh, Davo.
God.
At
He's
least he
hilarious.
corrected himself right away. It would be
Yeah.
worse if he like didn't recognize his mistake. Everyone would think he just thought his name was Sam. So another big part of the competition was the celebrities. And personally, I think the celebrities like made like they kind of carried the whole thing. Not to
Mhm.
say like the skills and the game it wasn't good, but like to have the celebrities as like obviously to help you draft, which was pretty cool, but also them behind the bench, like having them mic'd up, talking to the players.
Yeah.
Bieber in warm-ups, dude, that was amazing.
He's actually really good. Underrated.
He is pretty like he's a pretty good skater. But like even yeah, like that stuff like just makes All-Star weekend. Him every player going up to take a picture with him after too. He had no time to get back up there.
Him and Sid, the way he was like pushing away McKinnon. That was hilarious.
And then he ended up posting it, cropping out McKinnon.
That was so funny. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's definitely cropping him out," and he
And then
did.
he did. If there's anyone who can big time McKinnon, it's probably him. In all fairness, it's funny
Yeah,
though. Like the players kind of get nervous around him, but then you see like like Matthews and Marner are around him.
because they're friends, right? So, you know,
Their
yeah, that's
behavior in the locker rooms.
Matthews, man.
So there's some silly guys.
This guy's crazy. That like if that's what he's doing on camera, what do they do off camera?
They probably have a good time.
Yeah. I don't know what
Uh,
goes on in Arizona, but anyway,
well, I don't know if
uh
Bieber is going to Arizona. Maybe
uh
LA.
maybe LA, yeah. But
But back to the celebrities. I wanted to add like um yeah, I got it written down here. Let me look at it. So I feel like they just completely changed the game, as I mentioned. Like they kind of not took over, but they kind of drove the experience for a lot of the fans.
mhm.
Um, Will Arnett having those pep talks. I don't know if you see those clips. Like he actually read out. He said after he read out like I don't know if I sent this to you, but he was reading like quotes from Jurgen Klopp.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. So he was like in front of McDavid and Draisaitl and the rest of the guys. He's reading clips of like he's reading like screenshots of quotes by Jurgen Klopp. And at the end of it, it's like he says, as he's still reading, he's like, I'm Jurgen Klopp for Dortmund, manager for Dortmund. And everyone just starts laughing because they've just realized that it's not like his own words.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a pretty good speech though. But that was pretty funny. And there's some other like some small like mic'd up bites from him and the team. Buble was hilarious, obviously we mentioned. We talked a little about him earlier. McRae had a great performance. I think she's
Yeah.
doing a good job in the hockey community. She's obviously been around it. And then Bieber, obviously, we talked about him warming up. Him, I think because of how big he is, like, sure, Will Arnett, Buble is big. McRae is gonna be even bigger soon. But like, Bieber's a world-renowned like singer.
Yeah.
People can recognize him from Hong Kong, Indonesia, Brazil, South Africa. Everyone kind of knows who he is.
Hmm.
So for him to like do this, it kind of like grows the game
It does, yeah.
if you think about it. Like there were some people like on my socials, obviously girls who love Bieber that were like posting about like the game and like I can see them liking photos from the NHL, like people who'd never like follow sports ever.
Hmm.
All of a sudden they're into it because of him. So I don't know. I think it's like something people probably don't think about that much because of like how fun it was him in warm-ups, but like it also makes a huge difference for the league. So I think
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
So everything you said is exactly why they have celebrities there because it grows the game, it brings more entertainment, and also like what you said before, how the hockey players have a reputation of being kind of like
Like
how do you
robotic sometimes.
yeah, like robotic, boring, like no
They need some
personality.
entertaining people to like get them out of their shell.
So that's I think that's also the reasoning behind that. Because imagine like it was just players.
I was just about to say that to you. Like, imagine if there were no celebrities at this.
Yeah, it's kind
They
of
had a lot of
boring.
the biggest highlights of the weekend. Like, you can have your like ex players, like legendary players, but like celebrities just bring the entertainment, like you
You know
said.
what'd be cool? If they did it with like legends. Like if one year they just like did legends. You know what I
As
mean?
like us just like coaches and stuff.
Yeah, like instead of celebrities, they do legends.
But then that's to say like I'm trying to think like of like super out there players. All the old school guys, I think they're just as robotic as the new guys.
I don't know.
Maybe apart from like people like Wayne Gretzky or Biz is obviously a former player. I don't even think people think of him as that anymore, but there's obviously a few, but maybe if you have the like instead of maybe the okay, maybe you can have like three coaches. The real coach that's always there, the celebrity coach, and the legend.
I don't know. I'm just throwing another idea out there just to see what you think.
Imagine Tortorella, Bieber, and Wayne behind the bench.
That'd be so weird.
Imagine being a player and just like just looking at those three legends.
What am I doing here?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
what are your overall thoughts on the whole weekend? Did you like it? You didn't like it? You thought it was cool?
I liked it. I just yeah, like again, I really think Kucherov kind of just I don't know, he was like the the dark how do you
The
say it?
enemy.
The yeah, like the
But then he
enemy.
loved it.
He was like the dark stain of everything. Like he was just he's the reason why no one like no, I'm like I don't know. I just think he could have had a better attitude around
Hmm.
it because at the end of the day, you're there just for fun. So I think that kind of like brought the mood down a little bit, especially like just for that day that they were doing that competition. But yeah, in terms of the other days and the games and the other competitions and McDavid still being the fastest skater in the world and all that, it's really entertaining. So
Yeah.
I think they did a good job.
Yeah, me too. I agree. And it also helps being in a city like Toronto instead of
Yeah.
like last year they had it in Florida. It was cool the stuff they did, but it's not a hockey town. So
Mhm.
to do it in a place like Toronto was excellent.
And the fans were really good too. It
Oh
was
yeah.
really good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. Overall really good.
So let's get to some more I guess serious talk, you could consider it.
Yeah.
Um but recently during the All-Star weekend there were news that came out about players being allowed to play in international tournaments. The Olympics in 2026 and 2030, they're scheduled to, well, players will be allowed to compete in that, which is super exciting. And also next year in 2025, in February, Commissioner Bettman announced that there'll be no All-Star game. I'm pretty sure he said. But instead of that, we'll have a four nations tournament, which will include Canada, USA, Finland, and Sweden. So what do you think about that, lad? I'm obviously pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. And obviously they're probably gonna like alternate, I'm guessing, like within years, like 1 year they'll do that tournament, 1 year they'll do the skills
Yeah, so I think what they're doing is
all-star game.
they'll do it's kind of like World Cup and Euro Cup.
So, like every 4 years or something.
No, every 2 years because they'll have the Olympics and then World Cup of Hockey 2 years later and then
Right.
keep flipping every 2 years, which is great. I want to see that regularly again.
Yeah, that's gonna be so entertaining, no? Like to always pretty much have a competition to watch even like in the summer and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's I don't know if they'll do it in the summer, but
Or yeah, like in time during times when you wouldn't have hockey
yeah.
normally.
It's just been way too long since the last time. I think the last time was 2016 and that one was like sometimes I go back and watch like they have all the full games on YouTube, and once in a
Mhm.
while I'll go back and I'll watch the hour and 2 hour long video of the game because that's how great it was. They had I think I told you about this a couple times. They had this team North America where it was a bunch of under 23 players,
Mhm.
the best U23 players in North America, and they had like Matthews, McDavid, Riley was there, McKinnon was there. I'm forgetting a few guys. Ekblad. Um, who was their goalie? Gibson. They had some of the best players today. Eichel was on that team. There was a lot of it was so fun to watch. That was Matthews is like he hasn't even played a game in the NHL. So it was like his welcome to the league moment and
Yeah.
he tore it up. And then
Yeah.
obviously the other teams were good too, like Crosby, you could see for Canada, Patrick Kane, USA, all the good players. And imagine now with now McDavid is on Team Canada with Crosby. Now, Kane might make the US, maybe not, but Matthews can lead the USA team with the Kachuk brothers, the Hughes brothers, all the best players in the league to make
Yeah.
a best on best tournament.
Well, I have a question though. So, because I'm not really aware of how this would work.
Hmm.
Um, Now that they have like the Olympics, let's say, and all these players are going to the Olympics,
Yeah.
what are they gonna do for this season? Because I'm assuming the Olympics are gonna be in the winter. That's when the season is going on. So are they gonna stop the season?
Yeah, yeah. So there's I think because the tournament is actually kind of short. It's probably like 6 or 7 games if you go all the way to the gold medal.
Okay.
I think they take like 2 weeks off.
Okay.
There's like a 2 week break, and they actually did that for the COVID year. For 2020, they had the Olympics scheduled in I
Mhm.
forget where. I think it was Korea, South Korea, and the players weren't allowed to go anyway, despite COVID. So they just had like 2 weeks of nothing. But in the end, I think they used those 2 weeks to like use postponed matches and play them there because of COVID. All the games were getting postponed. That was a messy
Yeah.
year. But but to answer your question, it would be like a 2 week break. And for the World Cup of hockey, I think the last time they did it, um 8 years ago. Wow. 2016 was 8 years ago.
That's
Anyway,
crazy.
they did it like in the September. I think they did it instead of preseason.
Okay.
And then the
Okay.
season started after that.
That's kind of like their preseason, I
Yeah.
guess.
And then I guess whoever doesn't make the team, they're on their own to figure it out what to do. I'm sure like maybe it'll change a little bit. Maybe they'll have it mid-season too, but nonetheless, I think we're pretty excited about that, right, lad?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, especially because I never got to see these players
Yeah.
playing in the Olympics. You did, but I never got to, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Also, it's to be said that Russia, because obviously, politically they have all these issues. Um, they're not sure. Let me read what I put here. It's undecided if Russia will participate in the 2026 Olympics. So they like maybe something happens, though, things change in the world and they can participate. I would like to see, at least the Russian athletes participate since there's so many good players like Kucherov and
Hmm.
Ovechkin will be getting up there, but this Russia's a big part of the hockey community, I think. So,
Yeah.
all right. And to our final bit, I guess, yeah, our final bit of the pod, lad. Um, the Coyotes are having a bit of an issue with, hosting and being an NHL city, I guess, because they're having issues finding arenas and I guess the city councils or whatever, they're not agreeing with the league. All this fancy
All like
stuff.
bureaucratic stuff.
Yeah, but pretty much in the next few weeks or so, Um, Bettman will have an announcement about the future of the franchise. It could be as early as this weekend, I heard. So if they do get relocated, which we've heard many times this year, where would you like to see them go, lad? Any city
Personally,
in North America.
personally, I would like to see a few more Canadian teams, just because there's so many American
Yeah.
teams. I mean, Canada is kind of the country, the hockey country of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you would like to see a few more Canadian hockey teams. I don't know. I'm stuck between the West Coast and the East Coast. I don't know. I don't know. But I think right now I'm leaning more towards like I know you've talked about it before, Halifax. That would be really cool.
I
But
love
I'm
that.
not you're probably gonna say that, so I'm not gonna take that idea.
I'm actually not, but I'll say why
Oh,
later.
okay. But I don't know. I don't know.
When you said West Coast, what were you thinking? Like Saskatchewan West Coast or like
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
way?
yeah, yeah, like
Like
Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon?
Yeah, yeah, like those areas like Manitoba.
That'd be pretty cool. Especially since Saskatchewan doesn't have like anything going on. I
Exactly.
think I think they probably have a junior team or something. Yeah, the Regina Pats where
Yeah,
Bedard played. But other
yeah.
than that, yeah. I think they
Or
deserve
like,
like something. Maybe an AHL team at least.
yeah, I
Okay,
don't
yeah,
know.
that's
Something different, Because let's think about it. I don't know if I would want another American team because there's just so many
hmm
and like what's the point? Let's expand to areas that have less teams. I think
hmm
that's the whole point of doing expansions like this, no? Just
Yeah.
to make it more entertaining. And like let's say they add a new team near the south. Well, there's already the Dallas, there's already the Florida teams, there's already Nashville, there's already
Right,
all
yeah.
those teams in that area. And then it's like, oh yeah, let's go to the West Coast. And then you got all the LA teams, you
Three
got
teams in California.
yeah, you got all the
Seattle
teams
now.
over there, yeah. And then you move to other parts of America, and it's like, yeah, and there's all a bunch of other teams grouped up there. So I don't know. I think they should like try to spread it out more, even though I know they want to like keep it closer together for
Because of the
travel
travel and
reasons.
whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. I
That's
think
exactly that's exactly what I was gonna say about Halifax. I would love a team in Halifax, basically because like, Sidney Crosby came from Nova Scotia. So I think
yeah,
that's like kind of something we should look at. Imagine if there was a team there, the type of talent will bring out of Nova Scotia. And also McKinnon came from Nova Scotia, both from Cole Harbour. But I'm not gonna say that just because the travel, like it's so far from everywhere else. Like the closest team to that is like what, New York or Boston, and
yeah.
even then it's quite a distance.
Or
I
no,
would
no, it would probably be Montreal. No.
um maybe. Either way, it's like not as close like between Boston and New York. They're like right there. And they're not
Yeah,
even in the same division. So
yeah,
it's like that issue, which I could see. I would like to see a Quebec team.
yeah, yeah.
The
Quebec team
I
would be
feel
good.
like the Quebec Nordiques should come back, and a lot of people will agree with me. They have like such a passionate like fan base. Like the Canadians, all I hear is about their fans. Like every player's favorite away game is like either at Madison Square Garden or the Bell Center because of like how electric it is. Imagine a rivalry. Imagine a rivalry in Quebec, dude.
Yeah, like a Battle of Quebec. We need that.
That would be like insane. All the riots. There'd be so many riots in the
Oh yeah,
streets. Imagine a playoff. Uh, imagine a playoff series between those two.
that'd be
We'd.
insane.
I feel like that would be so cool to bring them back. They had great marketing. Like jerseys were nice, logos were nice. It was a way ahead of our time, but I feel like that would be
Could you
be a pretty
imagine? Could you
cool.
imagine the Battle of all Battle of Alberta, the Battle of Quebec and the Battle of Ontario in one playoff?
Yeah, and a Battle of Alberta on the other side. That'd be insane. But yeah, just a fun little question to add at the end of our little episode here, episode 17. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty much it, lad.
That pretty much brings us to the end. Yeah, it's been a great episode. Do you want to wrap it up or do you want to add
You
anything
can do
else?
it. You're usually pretty good at that.
Alrighty. So, what are our plans for our next episode, Andre?
Good question. Probably hopefully something footy related.
Yeah.
Just maybe so we can have that balance between the two. But we'll see. Not much has been happening. If I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
I know. It's been kind of
January
flat
window.
over.
What happened in the January window? Anyway, whatever.
Nothing, nothing.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Maybe we can talk about the January one
Yeah.
being horrible. Anyway, yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. Like Andre said, we're probably gonna alternate between sports. So
As much
be
as
on
we
the
can.
lookout for that. It's all gonna be under the same account. So
Yes.
let me
Oh
say
yeah,
that
I
again.
forgot to mention we forgot to say that. YouTube will stay the same. It'll just be Prime Sports just to keep it simple. We'll have different playlists of the episodes like Prime Puck, Prime Kickoff,
Yeah.
whatever. But we'll all be here.
Yeah, yeah. So YouTube is gonna stay the same. It's just gonna have like titles and playlists to separate everything.
What about
And then
TikTok? Is that's the same, right?
TikTok is staying the same. So if you watch our TikToks, they'll stay the same. The reels on there will all be under the same name. It's just on Instagram. If you guys want, go follow us on the accounts that I mentioned at the start. We're gonna link them for you in the description. And yeah, yeah. Thanks for watching. It's been another episode, episode 17.
Yeah.
Let's get in the 20s now.
Let's do it.
Let's get there. All right, thanks guys.
All
See you in the
right.
next one.